in the pandemic times. Hey guys, Chuck's back. Got to fix our cistern and it was leaking, so we just decided to replace the whole toilet. We went to Bunnings and we got this watermark toilet. First thing was we had to reposition our tap. So I'll quickly show you the other side of that. Okay guys, I had to cut the wood to get the actual plumbing connector off, and I had to move it up to give it enough length to actually get in there, and I had to put a board in there. So it was about a 150 millimeters between the two posts on this house. They're normally 150 to 600. So I've cut them out nice and neat so I can put them back in with a couple of bits of board put behind there and just popped it back in, and then a couple of drywall or plaster screws to hold it in. So two even going across, probably two this way, and just screwing them back in or packing it out, and that should get those back in, and then I'll be able to repaint it, put a bit of plaster on it, and sort that out. And that's where the pipe goes down. And in Australia we use plastic, no idea why, but we use plastic instead of copper. We used to use copper, we don't anymore. Okay, so what's going on here? Now the light's not very good in here. I apologise about that. Now this thing here, which is a cover, was on the opposite side. Now that it's sealed. So once you get this, it comes with a cap on the actual inlet. So the inlet's down underneath the system, and it is actually just a straight through connection. Now it does come with a hose hanging off of here. So there's a hose hanging off there. Then you have to try and connect it down onto there, which is going to be a horse's ass because it's not a very big piece of pipe that they gave you. Not sure where they got these in China originally, but yeah, they're a nice porcelain toilet seat. You have to use two of these screws with rubbers on it. So when you're doing this, you'll get these with a connector on the end of it. Now those connectors have to go into the material like that, and they're locked in underneath. One thing I did find out about those connectors, when you try to tighten them up, was it them? No, it was actually the front connectors for the toilet seat. You couldn't tighten them up because they were missing washers. They suggested that there was a washer underneath inside the actual connection in the back. So I don't know whether you can see this. You can see on the side there, I don't know whether you can get a good view of that. There's a rubber that tightens up for the actual seat, but there was missing a washer at the top. So I'll try and point that out. And without that, the thing won't lock in. So there's the toilet. There's your hose. The hose comes out the side, so you pop one of these off and you pop it out the side and then connect it up. So we'll do that now. And we'll put these back in, the two that have to go in there, using a long flat tip screwdriver, and we'll try and connect this back up to it. See, okay, I'll get back to you. Okay, I was having problems trying to get the actual the length of hose back onto here because this was in the way. So I unpopped it off this bracket here to get in there, so that you've got a clear run to get down into that hole to attach this onto here. Now I'm not sure whether I can go underneath there. I don't think I can. I'm going to have to go around. This hose isn't very long. It is covered in plastic. It's the only hose you get with the unit, so you do need to get another hose. You need to go to a plumbing shop or a hardware shop and get another hose to fit onto it. Okay, got to the point of putting that in. I was having problems putting it on, so I've taken it out to make it easier for myself to fix up. So took it out of there. The other side, you got one of those, and don't forget they've got to be changed over if you're in Australia. America, probably not. Anyway, I'll keep working on it. Okay guys, I did put this back on, but I couldn't get this on because it's too short, way too short. Now, if this system actually went down to there, then yeah, it would have been the right length. But because it had to go to the other side, the actual cable was a bit too small. So the only way to do it is to put it on, flex it, and pop it back in so that this bit actually is going to work, come up and down. So the final result looks like that. Now you've got a bit of a bend here, it still will bring the water in. It's connected down the bottom. Now I've just got to tighten the bottom bit because I left that loose so that I could adjust up here. I've tightened up, sorry about the camera work, I've tightened up this bit here as tight as I could go. You've got to be careful with these threads, they're plastic, so I've played with that. Now that's the other one, so if you look through them, that one's normally got a cap on the other end, the inside bit. This one's got like a cover over the top, but if you look into it, I don't know whether it can. Yeah, I can't get in there. Sorry about that, guys. Need a little bit of light in there, but you won't see through. It looks like it's some sort of water dispensing system, but it's not. Okay, so once we've got that hose hooked onto the cistern, we should be able to hook everything up now. So we'll hook this hose up to here, so to speak. Now you don't want to cross thread that, so I'm not going to pop it over here. There you go. I'm going to hook this on nice and make sure you got it nice and straight. Even go backwards to try and get that sitting on the thread. So if you're going backwards, it actually sits it back onto that thread. Once it feels hand tight, give it a half a turn. Don't go overboard with it. I take no responsibility if you're doing this at home by yourself. Call a plumber if you don't know what you're doing. Okay, that's probably enough. So that's nice and tight. That's going to go back into the cistern. I don't know if I can get this. Now we just have to pop these screws back into the holes. Now what you want to do with the holes, you want to make sure that you're doing it by hand tightening first. Make sure you're not cross-threading stuff. And then once you've finished that, you need to use your long flat screwdriver to tighten it all up. And that's about it. So I'll just put both of them in. So you have to use plumbing tape inside here. And I've pushed it down. Whoops. Just tight enough to not let the water go through. It's a valve, gate valve. Now you just have to put this on without plumbing tape. This has got a rubber, it'll seal up to it and it'll stop any water coming through, hopefully, if I've got it right on both ends. Right, so I got my tape measure, pushed the actual toilet back and made sure. So it's 7 inches off the wall. I'm not sure what that is in metric. I'm just thinking, sorry about that. It's around about 100 178 or 177 millimeters. So I'd say this was set up for America because the inches seem to work really well on this. But yeah, it's a little bit choppy. The 7 inches seems to work anyway. We've got them on our tape measure, so it'll work. So it's very close to the actual outflow, and if you've noticed, I've got it covered so that you don't get the smell. And now I'm going to have to uncover it and drill these in. So I'm not looking forward to that. Poo-poo. Okay guys, only thing I had to do, other than that, I tried to put the plastic bits on the sides, which I used an 8mm drill bit and a blue bit of spaghetti. Now they went in okay, both sides, but the problem was that one of the sides, it was pushing up against the outflow too much and it was too dangerous. I didn't want to break the outflow. Now in here, that hose that I reattached, you need to push it down because if you get a bend or kink, it won't refill. And that's about it. So if you like this video, and hopefully I can get out and do some detecting soon, and might even go and run into some people, please like and subscribe. I shit you not.